5 wide. Presented by Quick Trip's quality gasoline guarantee. It's just another way Quick Trip has you covered.
All right, 9 to noon is ready to go. Billy Schmid, Armin Sarian, and John Kuhn are in the building. I'm just showing Billy the Jenna Koepka video.
Since it's where do you stand, Wednesday? Where do you stand about talking about another man's wife?
Listen, she puts herself out on social media. What am I supposed to do?
Honestly, more than anything, where do you stand on using the desktop version of TikTok? Like that
I've never seen that.
I didn't even realize that there was a desktop version of TikTok. There we go.
There's a desktop version of Instagram, and for a while, they didn't let you post from desktop, did they, John?
I don't think so.
It's a cell phone only kind of thing. Kuhn, good morning. How are you, my friend?
Fantastic.
Right.
I feel bad not being in that studio. It looks cozy in there with all of you.
Oh, it's quite fun.
I love it. You know,
It is.
we're all in here together, and we can be a big happy family.
We
which
were
is
all
my
at
favorite
AmFam
thing.
yesterday, or all in the studio today.
Yeah.
Boom, boom.
Bill, you were there with your bride in a different section, got on the Jumbotron as a stray, you say. You weren't the featured act.
Yeah, I was the creepy guy behind that realized the camera was there, so I got a nice little photo bomb of these high schoolers that were enjoying themselves
that's
right in
awesome.
front of us.
Okay, on the roll out the barrel.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I was rolling that thing.
What other little in-game cameras? They had
Rolling
the
what?
they had the sing along to
Don't Stop
Journey,
Believin'.
Don't Stop Believing.
They do a good job with the entertainment.
They
They
do.
have Potawatomi High-Low, which the guy.
Butchered.
How do you not go high when you get a 7?
He got 7. I said
He
low.
went low. He had a
It's like betting the under when it's even money. What's the point?
he had a Brandon Staley feeling, and he went with it.
They lost. It was 9. High-low is when they give you a card and you have to pick high-low for anyone that doesn't know what it was.
So what? Oh, okay, all right.
Well,
got it.
not everyone
Oh,
knows
is that
that.
what it is?
Okay.
Oh,
That's what
high-low?
it is.
Not
Okay,
everyone's
good.
been to
That's
every
what it is.
Brewer
Just
game.
make sure.
We got listeners all over the state. I didn't
Somebody
know.
said they did him dirty. And I
They
go,
didn't
what do you
do
mean
him
they
dirty.
did him?
That's the game, buddy.
Yeah, right, that's
And
what I
they still
said.
gave him $25.
That
to
is kind
go
of a
spend
tough
at Pato.
first
To give him
card.
an 8?
Oh, so
Seven's tough,
it's
though.
bad luck. It's the worst for it, but that's the way the cards come out. You know, sometimes you get a 2-7 in poker and Hold'em.
Right.
So
Well,
should
they're
you
not
go?
actually
Should you go
dealing
over?
cards, right? Like
No.
they set.
I get
Well,
it.
and
Armin.
that's- And that was my friend
That's the question.
Johnny Oakes who complained about it, and he got us into the club level. So we upgraded. Me and Jason started all the way up in the upper deck, which was fine. It was a wonderful place to watch the game. I got a photo in the euchre seat, so that is checked off.
I
the
saw
list.
that.
Ding.
Nice.
Okay.
That was cool.
And then we got down to the club level, spent several innings with him there, which was great. He said they did him dirty on that game with that 8, and then he went low. And I go, how do they do him dirty? He goes, well, they programmed the game.
Throw him a
It's not
queen or something
truly
first.
random.
Yeah,
8 or
just
7.
Just do
changes it,
ace 2s the whole time.
Yeah, give him
you
a
know?
deuce or
But
something.
I was with you,
and
Armin.
figure
I
one
said,
out.
hey, that's the game. The
Oh,
game
yeah.
is the game.
Listen, now, how do you know it's not a total randomizer? Maybe there are random cards that come up, you know?
Yeah.
No.
Josh said, why not?
Yeah.
Josh said, what were you saying? Was it you and I that said it would be cool? Maybe it was Wolfie that said it'd be cool if somebody got a jack on their first one, went high with it like stupidly and still got it.
And still won.
Like
yeah.
in the movie Swingers when the old lady hits on 17 and still gets a 4 and gets 21 and everyone claps and
Oh, boy.
I don't know. It'd be funny.
You watch the movie Swingers a lot?
I love that movie. It's a great movie.
You're so money. You don't even know.
See, you guys, you hear the title. The title sounds creepy these days, but back then
It
it wasn't about
That
that.
it does.
What do you mean
It
these
was-
days? You didn't think there were swingers back in those days either?
Why would they name the movie Swingers back in '96?
You think swinging is just a thing that came about now?
I was probably really big in the 80s.
Butchie,
I
did you
really
see
think
the
it was probably big in the
That's right,
70s.
Butchie, did you see the movie?
No.
Okay.
No.
exactly?
Coon?
It's not you. Assume
Yeah.
it's
And did you like it? It was made on a shoestring budget. Vince
Ama-
Vaughn
yeah.
was barely even.
A very young Vince Vaughn. I mean,
Mhm.
it's fantastic.
they had like
It's
a
a
home
cult
video.
classic.
Armin uses lines from it all the time on the show.
The Vegas
He
line.
does.
Yeah.
It's one of his 3 movies.
I like how Armin didn't think that swinging happened. Like Woodstock was in the 70s.
Butch,
You realize that, right?
I
Like,
think it probably happened, but the term was used.
They're
60s,
young
60s,
guys.
60s,
They're young
70s.
guys who are unmarried, so they're not swingers in this movie. I believe swingers refers to them taking their swing at getting dates.
And they were swing dancing, the swing
okay.
dancing culture in those lounges.
sure, okay.
That was
Yeah.
prevalent
That was
in the
part of it,
90s.
Yeah. I love the fact
More you
they're
know.
playing one of the great video games of all time,
Man,
NHL 94.
94, the greatest.
And they were like getting in fights, and he was trash talking, like, hey, 99. He was like beating up Gretzky in one of the
Right.
fights. So you like, take that. Anyway, we digress. So
we did digress. Yeah.
another championship, which is great. Is it a championship? It's a central
Yes.
division,
We
It's a
won the
division
it's a division
championship.
championship.
small C championship,
I mean, it's a division
a
title.
non-parade championship, but
Yeah.
a championship.
It's not a
Do you
world
call 'em-
championship.
Billy, do you call them championships when your teams win divisions?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you celebrate the conference, you celebrate the division, but to I think one of the last ones that you put in there, it's a non-parade championship, right? Like they only do the parade. Well, mostly you only do the parade if you win the World Series. But as we've celebrated many a time, you gotta
82.
sometimes throw one
Yep.
when you lose, because come on, our boys
Let's
fought
go.
hard,
We did it.
and we're gonna have
82.
And then another
documentaries
one,
for the
5,
next
10,
40 years
15,
or so.
20, 25.
Yeah.
82
Yeah.
Brewers Parade was one of the biggest parades in the history of this state, this city. I mean, it was huge.
That's a tough one.
That's not a
But
good
that's
thing.
that's back. No, I don't see. I don't agree. That's back when us as a sports fan culture and a public learned how to take a loss and still appreciate what happened. Game 7 of a World
not
Series.
lose with class.
Right.
True. No one did with this. What
Good
happened
losers.
yesterday? The amount of people that were like, "Why is everyone so happy they lost?"
Yeah.
It's like, no, because they won the
I don't
championship.
think-
They won the
A
division.
lot of the olds there didn't realize what was going on. They're staring at us like, "What's happening? Why are you guys hugging each other and cheering?" I'm like, "The Braves just took the lead."
Why are you
Yeah.
calling them the olds?
They
Why are
were-
you taking a shot at the old
They
people?
were they were generally older people that weren't on their phones, which is fine. I respect that, but they weren't aware of what was
we
going
just
on.
talked about this yesterday. You're going to come at the old people, the foundation of the
Didn't-
Milwaukee Brewers,
Didn't
the
come at
people
them.
that have the cards, their own scorecard that with the pencil and hit
No,
the top of the pencil and make sure that it writes on it. You're going to make fun of those people?
I appreciate them. I'm just saying those.
Doesn't sound like it.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have
doesn't
said
sound
the
like it.
olds. I guess I'm sorry. The
Don't back
Put
the-
down.
respect on
the-
their name.
No,
they tended not
Full
to
line.
understand what was happening because they
The
weren't.
more
glued into their
mature
phone.
generation of the game.
Boo.
Well, maybe that was on the field level, because the Loge level, there were a couple of different people in there. I mean, I would say probably senior citizens, 65
Oh,
plus.
the olds.
Yeah, and they were checking their phones.
Oh, good.
There was a crew of Cardinal fans behind us who were
Oh, the worst.
they were being Cardinal fans,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
They were
Oh,
the
yeah.
deans of
Played,
of
you know what,
fandom.
Bags.
Yeah.
and letting everybody know what
You
was a
shouldn't
good
do
play and
that.
what wasn't. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, Butchie, they were all over
You
this.
shouldn't do that. You
But
shouldn't.
then all of a sudden, the one guy right there, after everybody's realizing that Seihei Suzuki just dropped the ball in the lights and started crying on the field, put his phone over and goes, "They still suck. How about that,
Yeah,
Johnny?"
I love that. I
There we
love
go.
it.
We could all take pride in the Cubs choking one away.
One old timer came up to me. He's like, "Oh, the Brewers are about to win the division," and he shows me his phone, and he's got the free MLB sort of stat cast or whatever they
The
call
game
it,
cast.
Gamecast?
Yeah.
Gamecast with the animated pitches.
Yeah, most people were using that last night.
Right, they didn't have the live stream of
Right.
the game. Like
Although,
who did around you?
Jason.
Jason had it. He had it on marquee.
yeah, well,
Okay.
I had it on YouTube TV, and the people that were watching Gamecast were having it before I did, because
The delay.
Yeah.
there was a good 10-second delay. The stadium starts blowing up. I'm like, all right, something good's about to happen. It's fly ball. I'm like,
You pulled the Heller. You
really
pulled
getting
the
that excited? Oh yeah,
You
100%.
pulled the Heller with the delay.
Yep, the
All
delay
right.
was getting me on it.
There's the old right there.
Oh, I
Telling
like
me
it.
old.
He's got the American Family
Hell
Field
yeah.
hat. He doesn't even have a Brewer hat. It's the
Yeah,
stadium hat.
absolutely.
Of
That's
course,
what made
this
You're
guy.
right, Butch. I agree. I'm
Here.
not
You
trying
want to
to
make fun of it.
No.
I'm worried I'm going to say
Yeah, I was
that.
gonna say. Don't do that.
You know what was great is like we had it in our row, Josh, and I think
Yep.
the dudes behind us, they're probably college age guys.
They were, yeah.
And then there was guys like 5 rows ahead of us, and his phone had the first update, and they start hugging each other. They scored. They scored.
And then everyone looks at our phone like, they did what now?
we're waiting.
Oh, they did.
But
And
you
then,
had to see a confirmation on your
Yeah.
own phone.
Yeah. Did you see that Suzuki botched the excuse as well?
I did see that. That was kind of an L.
That was kind of an L.
Was that a translation deal?
I don't know. See, that's one
That's the
caveat I
one
threw
thing.
in there. I said these translators go out of their way to make the players look as good as possible. They don't necessarily always translate
you think
directly.
he actually said, like, look, I suck. I shouldn't even be here. And the translator
So
was
the
like,
translator goes,
lights. The lights were the
The
problem,
lights.
I think.
I have
That's what
brought
he
great
said. Yeah, the
shame
lights,
to
yeah.
the Chicago Cubs.
Yeah, he said I.
The
are-
lights
are you-
bothered me all game.
Are you
Yeah,
finding it? He said,
Zayden said earlier today. Yeah, and he put the sword right through him, and I was like, oh, my
Yes.
the lights
I
were
made,
bad.
I made a Harikari reference.
which we
was
don't need to go
apparently,
back to.
So the lights are,
ill-received.
ever since I've been in Japan, I've known about the lights. The lights are an issue, but I'm not going to make it about the lights because that's an excuse. So I
Yeah.
won't say that.
Ever since I was playing in Japan, you do have to take that in consideration. If I do say that, then it's an excuse. So I'm not going to say that. Too late.
I think people would feel better if you said the lights were the problem. Then they'd be like, okay, there's a reason our guy can't catch a fly ball.
Is
You know?
there a decent excuse to be had for that play?
Though,
No.
if you lose in the lights, absolutely, you can't
You
see.
dropped it. That's all you got to say.
Is that a good excuse?
It's better than Brad Brown, who had it in the glove.
Or
I
is
mean,
it like your dad would say, a poor excuse is better than none? That's a
But- but-
poor. I mean, the lights are a poor ass excuse. They're there the whole game.
Give me a little bit of an explanation, though. I get it. I like what Say was trying to do, but yeah, it was kind of an L.
I don't know. It is
Good
what
for
it
him,
is.
though.
There's a reason. People, when something bad like that happens, people are dying to have a reason. They want to know why. Why would you do that? Well, this is why. Well, don't give me an excuse. Well, you just asked for one. What do you want me to say? I'm awful. I stink. I should leave.
I choked
I'm
in the
with
moment.
you. I'm with you, Armin, 100%. Tell me what happened. It's an excuse, but it's also what actually happened. You lost it in the lights. You dropped the ball because you lost it in the lights.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that doesn't make it any better, but at least we know now a little bit of something.
and
What do
sometimes
they-
there's no excuse.
What do the
Sometimes-
sports psychologists recommend? Do they recommend you owning it? Or do they recommend you saying, no, you know what? It just happened.
You know, we never had sports psychologists on the teams that I was on. The Packers do now. And Dr. Carr came in after I had left. And I'm really interested in how that whole thing goes down. I talked to him quite a bit now, and it's fascinating how much guys go in there and talk with him about things, and they'll come up and talk to him on game day while they have pads on before the game even starts.
What
I
do
think
they-
we need one for the station.
Yeah, I
We
would.
can't
I
even
would
get the
know.
lights on in here.
pay him enough.
There is progress, though.
I was
of
gonna say
the-
it's bright in here today.
Well,
We got
look,
one.
of the 3 tubes of the fluorescent light fixture above us.
You got one of 3?
Well, yeah. For the last week and
That's
a half.
better than none.
Better than- well, look, for the last week and a half, there was one half purple dimmed one that's broken and 2 that were out. Now there's one middle one that's beaming bright that's fixed, but the third one is still out. So we're operating at 1.5 of the 3.
We're right there.
Supply
That's
chain.
50%.
Butch, do an endorsement, Butch, for a psychologist out there. It's got to
Right,
be
we
one.
should,
Get on.
don't you? Could you imagine the amount of hours that guy would put in for this station?
Oh my
The
goodness.
mental coach approach. My
However,
God.
One caveat. One caveat.
Jeez, Butch.
All sessions are recorded and uploaded to a file folder
Podcast.
for other shows to use
Yeah. Okay.
as they wish.
So I don't think that would
So you
work.
can do
I
a
don't think that would work
breakdown.
then.
Oh, come on. It's for the content.
I
Let's
agree.
Oh,
go.
the content would be amazing.
Go.
You're right, but
Drew and KB's OK Stop would go to a different level
Yeah,
at that
every
point.
day.
It would definitely go to one.
the problem is
Could you imagine the draw? Oh my! Maybe you know what, Dave? I'm on board. Let's do the content would be amazing.
it wouldn't work because it's being recorded though. You wouldn't say what you want to, what people want to say.
Sort
It's
of
if-
like Kuhn when they mic up players in the NFL. They know they're wearing a wire. They kind
Except
of
if you're Tyreek Hill.
do things a little bit
it
differently.
was Josh's whole theory. 5 years ago, Josh and I had an idea for a podcast called
Oh,
Getting
we did.
Lunch.
Yeah.
And I was like,
getting
this
lunch.
will not work because we have to wire up the car and everything, but also because the stuff we talk about, it makes it funny. We
Yeah.
can't say it on a podcast.
I was like, I wouldn't
No,
be
that's
saying
what you
anything
can
if
say.
you're
You
recording
can't
right
be,
now.
you can't be scared. You just
But you
Go
didn't
ahead.
hear what we were talking about. So, I mean, I'm
what
just,
were you? I mean,
Speaking of can't say
We can't talk
things,
about
podcast. You can say anything on a podcast.
okay.
not if you have a real job that has a real company that
Not
would-
if you like working.
Yeah, right. Like if you're not doing anything but podcasting, then yeah,
Well,
say whatever you
I don't
want.
know. A lot of it was in the moment too. Like somebody biking across the street.
Yeah,
and,
it had to
Look
be-
at that idiot.
Let me ask.
something.
Let me ask Kuhn about things you can't say. Is LaFleur genuinely annoyed at Dobbs for spilling the beans on Jones for tomorrow?
I'm not necessarily. I would say he's definitely had a conversation of, okay, here is the competitive advantage if you don't do that. So let's try and not do that going forward.
Okay, I don't believe there's much of a competitive advantage.
Yeah, but coaches
You
are
don't.
weird, Dave.
I don't,
You don't think that? Why not?
because how are they going to prepare differently with or without Jones?
Schemes, bro.
Well, so first of all,
Schemes.
if you're going into a football game, every team offensively and defensively has their 3 main goals. And for the Detroit Lions, they'd be foolish going into a game against the Green Bay Packers to not say, knowing that Aaron Jones was going to play, he's our number one target. We need to, number one, make sure he doesn't beat us, and we are going to create a game plan that's for him not to beat us. Now, if Jones doesn't play, they'd be foolish to say, well, we need to focus on A.J. Dillon, number one. He's the reason they can't beat us. It cannot be. So they would switch their number one target to be probably like a Jordan Love. Like, how do we affect Jordan Love in the pocket? How do we get him off his mark? So,
well, I don't discount that there
Maybe
are different
Syracuse.
things you do for different personnel, but my belief is these coaches are so thorough, they prepare for all eventualities, because not only can game time decisions knock a guy out of the game, injuries during the game can knock a guy out. So they have to prepare for everything. So I don't think telling him ahead of time he's going to play really adds to their workload. I don't think they're going to throw away all the Aaron Jones prep if they knew he was out.
No, they wouldn't throw it away, but they would have to spend time
installing stuff,
and teaching players, hey, this is going to be our mindset on this, and this is how we're going to adjust to this, and this is how we're going to work this based off of Aaron Jones not playing.
Especially with a short week, there's only so much oxygen that you get.
Agreed.
For this 4 days. Like if there's any one that it would be a competitive advantage, this one would probably be it.
Yeah. Installing. Yeah, going to install another light in here. How long is that going to take? Short week.
I think I got lights like that actually at my at home. But I'm not really sure. I don't know how.
Yeah,
to
bring
How
one
many
in,
Armins
let's
does
screw
it
it
take
in,
to
let's see
change
what
a light
happens.
bulb?
Get up
Hey,
there,
Billy, you
bring
ever
the tube in, get it up
did
there.
you have a fire yesterday?
Oh yeah,
No.
what happened with that? With
About what?
the
Yeah,
chimney?
the chimney.
Yeah, we
Squirrel
believe
update.
that it's now not in the
Welcome to the
Oh.
party, pal. Yep, that's how it starts.
Probably-
Oh, it's right
probably
here. No, it's not.
under the
Oh,
deck.
God.
Yeah.
Well, this is
Yep.
the time of year
You
where
can't
way
burn
up
the
to the
deck.
house.
these animals
No.
are looking for shelter. These squirrels are working.
I got
their
a boat
butts off.
torch if you want to try
Here's
one.
what you do, Billy. Okay, here's
You
what
see
you do.
these squirrels running
You
around?
forget all about it. Try to not stay in your house. Go find other things to do until the smell just goes away and the animal rots. I would suggest maybe going to buy all the gear. Go to the team store, buy all the gear.
Can I tell you
Yes.
what I did do? I bought a big old thing of hydrogen peroxide. I said, here, why don't we just,
Give it a
if it-
shot.
yeah, give it a shot.
And if you
Because
need the
I'm off
blowtorch,
on Sunday, so I'm going to need this whole back area with the 2 TVs for 18 hours.
All right, souvenir note. The Brewers team store, Josh, will be open today.
At 11 a.m., if you weren't able to
There you
go
go.
to the game last night to buy all the gear, you can do so starting at 11.
Shirt
you
looks
go.
better in person.
Yeah, the shirt's nice.
I
I'm going to
would
be
totally
honest with
agree
you.
with
On
that.
television, it was not doing it.
Yeah.
In person, looks a little better.
Like the shirt. Hat is
More mid.
it's not my style.
Not your thing.
Well, it's
but
not a
still bought
59.50.
it.
Looks good on you, though.
Yeah.
That's not true, but thank you. I
Is that
appreciate
why
it.
you look kind of odd today
Yeah.
on the camera?
Yeah.
I couldn't figure it out.
It's a hat.
I was
100%.
looking and I was like, man,
Look,
it's
I'm wearing it.
really
because I
weird
have
look
to,
for Josh today.
because I buy all the
the
gear.
low profile dad hat. It
Right,
doesn't work
great.
for his
I
own.
got
It is-
I got a fat face.
it's
It's
a much
That
different
from my
face needs
face
to be offset by a giant 5950
Correct,
yes.
skyscraper with a flat brim.
Yes,
That's
That's
his
what
look.
it is. Okay, now that
That reminded me.
couldn't figure it out, but now I get it.
That reminded me last night, really quick, of what I saw. It's the
Josh, I
standard
think you look good, man.
Hey,
Yeah, I think you look good, kid.
standard Cardinal fan uniform, which was the Cardinals polo tucked into the khakis and Nike Air Monarch. So many Cardinal fans had that on.
All right. You're stuck for
Very,
food
very
today.
Doug Heffernan today, Josh, I'll say.
Doug Heffernan.
Thanks.
Okay. Don't know who that is.
Yeah, who is that?
Okay.
The
All
guy
right.
from King of Queens.
King of Queens, yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's
Did not
getting
watch that
memed
show.
to
Okay, fair enough.
oblivion right now.
Yeah.
All right, if you're stuck for food today, Quick Trip has your takeaway of the day, whether it's for lunch or dinner, yourself or your family. Over 30 freshly prepared, never frozen meals right there at that little kiosk right before the checkout counters. Go there today and enjoy. Tag, you're it. 9 to noon is next. Tomorrow, game day. We will be
Game
ready,
day.
boys. Let's go. Championship Brewers.
Turn up the lights and young baby. You know I don't need want you to see every